All right, and welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Farmcast. As always, myself, Zach Hand, joined by Kyle Pate, Jake Becker, and all the way out in North Dakota, we've got Doc Firmer. And we're here today. Spring's coming up, guys. MLB baseball is back soon, and it's about fucking time. You know, I love time of the year starts warming up, getting ready, tailgating, going to some fucking Brewer games.
Oh, yeah.
It's fucking awesome. So we're here. We're gonna talk a little bit, give some predictions for the season.
We got some fun predictions coming up. We're gonna be talking about who we have for MVP, Cy Young, Rookie of the Year for both leagues. We'll be opening it up a little bit. Talk about top 5 baseball players or your favorite baseball players of the last 20 years, and we'll take it from there.
Yeah. So right away, let's just start away. First, just starting off MVP. I can, or Kyle, if you want to go first, give your AL, NL, tell us the future.
I think we could all go NL first and then
Yep.
give AL. I'll give my NL MVP, and that's going to be the youngster out of Atlanta, the most exciting player in baseball, in my opinion, outside of Joey Gallo, Ronald Acuna.
Okay.
I definitely think he's in line for an MVP year. He had nearly a 40-40 season last year, was shut down towards the end of the year. Otherwise, I think he would have gotten it. He plays like his hair's on fire. He's just fun as hell to watch, and I think this might be the year he puts it all together on an absolutely stacked Atlanta Braves team.
Okay, that's fair. How about you, Fenner? What do you got?
I am going along the same vein. I chose the man who should have won the NL Rookie of the Year, but Ronald Acuna stole it away from him somehow. Juan Soto.
Okay.
Many of you may know him.
Nope.
From the World Series, grabbing his crotch at the pitcher all the time.
Yeah.
But
Nope.
No,
nickname,
yeah.
the Childish Gambino, maybe one of the greatest nicknames in all of sports.
Okay.
That boy's going to
No.
show out this year.
The best nickname in all of sports is Kevin Durant, Slim Reaper.
Oh, that is
facts.
very funny.
That is true.
You can't get enough of that.
I like that one. That's a good one. Hey, Becker, how about you give us... You're really good. You nailed your predictions last year. People forget.
People do forget.
You nailed your predictions, so tell us, who's going to win NL MVP?
Well, I feel like he should have won it last year, but since he pretty much broke his kneecap, I'm going to go Christian Yelich. He had a better he had a better season than he did last year, or when he won it when he won the MVP. Season got cut short. Come back healthier, stronger than ever. He's going to run it back, make it 2 MVPs for him.
Okay. What do you
What
think?
a selfish move by Christian Yelich, by the way, fouling that ball into his kneecap so he can get a couple extra weeks off.
I couldn't agree
honestly,
more.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why he can't be MVP last year, because a guy that really cares about his team wouldn't have made the choice to foul a ball off of his kneecap. I mean, it's just kind of disrespectful to the rest of his teammates in the midst of a tight playoff race.
Respect the game, Christian.
For real.
As a Brewer fan, I don't want that kind of cancer on my team. I just don't want it. You know? I don't want someone who's going to be hitting baseballs at themselves.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, with that being said, my NL MVP is going to be also Christian Yelich.
Wow.
So if he can aim for the fences as well as he does for his kneecaps, I think he's looking good. Obviously, a little bit of a homer pick here, Brewer fan. So obviously, yeah. So complete, bias aside, I think he is the best player in baseball that's not named Mike Trout. And, hey, fuck it, run it back. I'm ready for it. I want it to happen.
I agree.
So I think it will happen.
Honestly, don't even know if that's a homer take. He's so fucking good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the dude is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. At first, I'm like, oh, this is a homer. It felt like picking Aaron Rodgers for MVP in, 2012 or something like that. But then I'm like, no, he's just that good. But, yeah, so those are NL picks. Kyle, how about you start us off with the AL?
All right, now we're going to start getting into some spicy territory. And for my AL MVP, I'm going to go with the guy who had the hottest second half out of anybody last year.
Oh.
And it is a DH. I'm going with Jorge Soler to win AL MVP. And let me tell you why.
My favorite AL player.
This man slugged 48 homers last year. almost all of them coming in the second half, went on an absolutely torrid pace. Sure, he batted only 265, but he has great contact skills to make up for it. Average is overrated, and I would argue, for nerds. If he can just cut down on his walks to strikeout ratio, he had 73 walks to 178 strikeouts. It's not great, but I think there's a lot of room to improve. And if he can just improve that a little bit, he hits, 45 dings and can bat 280. I think he's got a hell of a shot to win AL MVP.
Jorge Soler, if you guys forget, helped bring me a fantasy championship last year, so I respect the hell out of that take, Bate. The year of Firmer. It's something many people are saying it might be the decade of Firmer, but
I would not like that.
Okay. Fenner, how about you hit us with your AL MVP prediction?
Mine isn't quite as spicy as Pate's, but honestly, if you aren't picking Mike Trout, anything's pretty spicy. But I am going with Alex Bregman, who I think has a chance to be the face of baseball. He's got a
cheater.
Sure, whatever. I think he's going to be good regardless of the cheating because he was great at LSU. He was great in the minors for like.
Hey, everybody, do your best Alex Bregman impression.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I got nothing to say.
Yeah. Fuck you, Fenner. You're
Alex
out.
Bregman's gonna shove his.
You want to hear my Jose Altuve one too?
Yeah. Give us a Jose Altuve one. Okay.
Continue, please.
Oh man. Yeah. Did you have anything else to say?
No,
okay.
that's all
Good.
I got on Bregman.
Good.
Perfect.
Becker.
So get those trash picks out of here because I'm going Mike Trout because he is good at baseball and that's it. That is it. He's just good at baseball.
Okay.
Wow.
Yep. Riveting. Resident baseball expert here.
So I'm going to give mine. Mine's Mike Trout because, that's obvious. But real quick, Becker.
Yo.
Do you know what AL and NL stands for?
American League and National League, you idiots. I'm not dumb.
Okay, sorry. I just had to. Do you know what MVP stands for?
Treated like an idiot here. I hate it.
Who is Cy Young?
Oh man. Speaking of Cy Young.
Yeah. So we're gonna be moving into our Cy Young picks now, and I'll make my first prediction. I'm gonna be starting in the NL. And I'm going to be going with a pitcher for the LA Dodgers. No, it is not Clayton Kershaw. I'm going with Walker Buehler. Last season, he went 14-4, had a 3.26 ERA, and he also started notoriously slow that season. That kind of kept him out of spring training. He wasn't really able to do a whole lot, but once he got warmed up after May, he was absolutely lights out. And if he can just keep that same consistency for the whole season, the sky's the limit.
Okay. That's a good pick.
Yeah, Walker Buehler is really good. How old is he? Is he like 25?
I think he's old. I think he's 24 and going to be turning 25 only, so he's still got pretty much his whole career in front of him. Dude's ridiculous.
Really
Makes
good.
me feel like shit.
I mean, you are.
Yeah.
You're co-host on one of the hottest podcasts in the nation. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's true.
People forget that.
Fenner, what you got?
NL Cy Young Award. Not too hot of a take here, but I am going Jacob deGrom. He is going for the trilogy here, and I think he's going to get it. This man shows no sign of slowing down. He, over the last 2 seasons, has had a 2.21 ERA, which is fucking unreal. I just think he's going to continue his dominance and show us what he's all about.
How old is he now? I mean, he's still young as hell too, isn't he?
I think this will be his age 32 season.
Oh, okay. It's older than I thought, but still, damn.
Yeah, he came into the league a little late. He came into the league when he was like 25 or 26.
Yeah, Jacob deGrom is just he was the obvious choice for the NL, and there's not a whole lot that's going to stop him from getting another.
Right.
Okay. Becker, who you got for NL Cy Young?
I'll tell you one person who can stop him. I'm completely unbiased in this pick, but I'm choosing Josh Hader. So Josh Hader, relief pitcher for the Brewers. I know that much. I like it because I like the fact that he can just pitch one inning and be done and call it a day and just still get the win.
Yeah, but the Brewers' fucking pitching staff is so bad. He has to pitch 3 innings every time he's fucking.
You know what? When he pitches 1 inning, he does great. All right. And
But to be fair, when he pitches 3 innings, he does great.
he does great too. I just want him to win because unbiased, he's really good.
Who was the last reliever who won?
The last reliever to
Eric
win,
Gagne, right?
It was Eric Gagne in 2003.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Another Brewer legend,
Yep.
Eric Gagne. People forget that.
Yep.
I don't
I
know.
honestly forgot that.
I don't know about Eric Gagne or I don't know about Josh Hader winning Cy Young.
Well,
That's,
you're wrong, so.
Hey, I mean, I would welcome it. We're all unbiased Brewer fans. Wouldn't hurt my feelings, but I do not see Josh Hader winning the Cy Young. But hey,
Fine. Be on the wrong side of history. That's you.
Well, Becker, we've had a lot of similar picks so far. But for my Cy Young in the NL, I was thinking Josh Hader, but I'm going with a big name, an easy one, but he's not going to get it. But maybe he will. Clayton Kershaw. Went with the Dodgers. It's a safe one, and you know what? I'm a safe guy. Strap in.
Kershaw.
At least there actually is a chance because it's not going to include the playoffs, which is where Clayton struggles.
That's fair.
Kershaw was still excellent again last year, and the only problem is, and it's kind of a Dodger problem in general, but especially with Kershaw, he's going to find himself on the disabled list a few times, and I don't know if he's going to pitch the enough innings to actually win Cy Young again.
I mean, maybe, but we'll see. He's still very good, and I would put money on it.
Moving on to the AL. I'll give my AL Cy Young, and I'm going to be going with. Been running with young guns, and this time I'm going to be going with Shane Bieber. He was last year. He was the All-Star Game MVP, but Shane Bieber was absolutely disgusting last year. He had a 3.28 ERA. He's only 24 years old. And he pitches in the AL Central, which, if you don't know, outside of the Twins, is the shittiest hitting division in all of baseball. He has ample opportunity. He'll get the innings, and I think he's got a hell of a shot to win Cy Young.
Okay, that's fair.
Well,
Makes sense to me.
We had a little bit of the same thought process here, Pate. I'm not going Shane Bieber. I'm going Mike Clevinger.
Oh, okay.
Another pitcher off the Cleveland Indians. Mike Clevinger, he was hurt last year, wasn't he?
To begin the year.
While.
But then
at the beginning
when
of the year,
he came back.
When he came back, he was an absolute fucking stud. I think he went 13-4, 14-3, something along those lines with a sub-3 ERA. He throws fucking gas, and
he's got great hair.
I was just about to say, his flow is unmatched.
Was that your biggest thing for determining Cy Young pitchers was by their flow?
Yeah, and Shane Bieber's got a fucking buzz cut, man.
Yeah, that's kind of lame.
That's bad. That's a knockdown, honestly.
True. Garrett Cole, he's got some great hair. Maybe that was a part of it. And then he went to the Yankees. Now he's a clean-shaven bitch.
Facts. I think Mike Clevinger struck out. No, he didn't strike out 200 batters. I think he struck out like 170, but in 130 innings pitched. Mike Clevinger is going to be really fucking good this year. The Indians have an insane pitching staff.
Okay. Good prediction. Becker, what you got for us? AL.
All right. Before I make this pick, I'm just gonna say this is ass because I don't know dick about baseball. This is just having a terrible time. However, I'm going to pick Justin Verlander as my AL Cy Young Award winner.
Wow.
Okay.
Because he was on my fantasy
Very
team.
unique.
Yeah, on my fantasy team last year, and that's the only justification I have.
Well, if we're going to bring fantasy, he was on my team the year before.
That too. News to me. Thanks, Al.
You're just helping him build his case up
Yep.
better. It just shows how right your pick was, Becker.
Yeah, see? Pretty good.
Well, with my AL, I'm interested to see what you think about Fenner. I showed it to Kyle already. I'm going with Blake Snell of the Rays. Kind of out there, especially with how safe my picks are.
A former Cy Young winner, kind of out
I was
there.
going to say, I was going to say,
Well,
that's kind of safe. I mean, he won Cy Young 2 years ago.
Yeah,
but.
I get it, but that's just, I think, a little...
No, I like that pick. He's got a good
Thank you.
pitcher.
Thanks, thanks.
He's a good pitcher.
Yeah, good pick,
He's
Zach.
also
I
another
agree.
guy who's
Thanks.
He's also another guy who's really young and going to be really good.
Exactly, yeah. So that's kind of why I went with him. how about, so we got our Cy Young stuff out of the way. What do you guys have for Rookie of the Year?
Nothing. I have nothing. I just have nothing.
So place your bets now, because Jake Becker's about to hit you with correct predictions. I'll go. I'll give both my NL and my AL right away. For the NL, he's the odds-on favorite. It's going to be the easiest one, but I'm going with Gavin Lux. He's in a prime position, going to play second base for the Dodgers. He's in easily the best lineup in baseball, probably the best lineup we've seen in, I don't know, a couple decades.
The Twins lineup is pretty good.
Yeah, they don't have...
pretty good.
That Brewers lineup, though, that's pretty good, too.
Yeah.
Either way, he's going to be in that middle of the lineup. He's a great contact hitter. He's always shown that since minors, and I just think he's in such a good spot to win it. And then I'm going to be going with a pitcher for my AL Rookie of the Year. He showed out in his limited run in the playoffs last year for the A's. I'm going Jesus Luzardo, a lefty that throws 99 gas, and he's going to be moving into the starting rotation for the A's this year. And I just think he's got some filthy stuff, and I'm really excited to see what he can do for the old green and gold there.
I love that pick. I am a huge Jesus Luzardo fan. I drafted him in our fucking fantasy draft last year.
Spoiler alert, I'm going to be drafting him this year.
Yeah. Dude,
Not if I steal him.
Stud.
You don't even know who it is.
That doesn't matter. I don't know who half my
You're
team
going to
is.
forget the name.
He'll get his brother to draft for
Yeah,
him.
that's true.
All right, Fender, what you got for Rookie of the Year?
NL Rookie of the Year, I got a guy who got a little bit of run before he got hurt last year for the Colorado Rockies, Brandon Rogers. I think, I mean, Kyle kind of, before the podcast, Kyle alluded it to before, they might not have a whole lot of spots to fill for him, but I think he's talented enough that they will find a spot for him in the infield. He'll probably play second base. Yeah, that's...
Okay. Yeah.
Plays in Colorado. That always helps.
Yeah, that helps your batting numbers for sure. For the AL, I am going with a White Sox prospect, Luis Robert. He plays outfield. And last year, he slashed 328, 376, and 624 over 120 games with 32 bombs and 36 stolen bases. He just looks like he's going to be an absolute fucking stud. To be honest, haven't watched a whole lot of him, but those numbers don't lie.
Yep, those are some stats.
Yep.
Got all the tools to be a five-tool guy in the MLB, and he's just going to be exciting as hell. Him with Yohan Moncada on the same team is just fucking sweet.
Who was the other rookie they had last year? The other outfielder. He played right field?
Oh, yeah. Wow, I'm bored.
Yeah, that guy.
You
Yep.
know who I'm talking about.
Yep, that guy. I know, too.
Slipped my mind.
Yep, right over.
Fuck, this is going to kill me.
Yep, me too.
Shut the fuck up.
I was waiting for Becker to just pop out with exactly who you're talking about. Or Becker, Lorenzo Kane.
Oh, yeah, I like him. We talking Brewers? I'm your guy.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Eloy
Jimenez, yes.
Yep, knew
Thank
it.
God, that was going to
Thank God, we got
Yeah, that was
this.
a tough blank for everybody
He
here.
stole it out of
that White Sox team is going to be fun to watch this year.
Oh, they're sweet. I mean, they could honestly, they have one of the better hitting lineups in, I was going to say the AL, but it might just be all of baseball. I forgot they picked up Edwin Encarnacion also. So they're going to have Yasmani Grandal, Jose Abreu, Edwin, Tim Anderson, who was the batting title last year, Eloy. They got your favorite player, Nomar Mazara, Yohan Moncada.
I'm a big Nomar fan, man. I don't know what to say.
If their pitching can be good enough, I mean, obviously they have Lucas Giolito, who I think we're all believers in. They get guys like Michael Kopech to step up. I mean, that's going to be a really good team.
Daniel Cease, he was a rookie last year. He pitched pretty good out of the bullpen. I think he's supposed to be moving to a starting role this year.
And they have about 55-year-old Steve Cishek as well.
I did not think he was in the MLB anymore.
Same.
With you.
Same.
He just keeps playing well every year.
Yep.
With his stupid submarine delivery.
Well, for Becker and I, we will not be giving a Rookie of the Year. We don't need to hit anyone with a really stupid take.
Yeah, Al and Kyle pretty much nailed it on the head. I was going to say, like, one of those 4 characters. So
It took.
We just beat you to it.
It is crazy how you guys took that all from my notes. So you're welcome for giving you guys those stats.
Yeah.
But we're going to kind of transition here. Fenner, you kind of brought something to us that we wanted to talk about a little bit. So we're going to give our top 5 players of the 2000s, so the last 20 years. And yeah, Kyle, if you just want to get us started, top 5 players, last 20 years, what you got?
Okay, so this is going to be in no particular order, but there is one clear number one. So first we'll talk about an easy one.
We are leaving out
Yes,
Mike Trout and Barry Bonds because they would be the same on everybody's list.
Yeah, because if they're not your number one or number 2 or 3, it's a terrible list. So.
And we are also leaving out Bill Hall because we felt that was a little too easy for us Brewer fans.
Well,
yeah, that's fair.
Well, we'll see. We'll see when it comes to me as well.
So my first one, I got one of 2 pitchers on here, and it's going to be Clayton Kershaw. I do not care about the lack of World Series titles. That means nothing to me. The dude's been a hell of a pitcher. He's the best pitcher I've ever watched. He's still going strong, even though he doesn't have his dominant fastball anymore. But even during his peak, oh boy, the most disgusting curveball you've ever seen. And just some of the
69 miles
nastiest,
an hour.
Yeah, some of the nastiest stuff out of any lefty in the 2000s. I would have went with Randy Johnson instead of him, but the big thing is that he was 36 years old by the time the 2000s rolled around, and he did win 2 Cy Youngs after that, but I just felt like going with Clayton Kershaw instead.
Okay.
Should move on to the next?
Yeah, rattle off the list.
Okay. So, once again, these are in no particular order outside of number 1. So, the next one I'll go with is Ichiro Suzuki. He came over in 2001.
Yep.
That's a good one, yeah.
And was probably the best contact hitter of the past 50 years, let alone the last 20, and definitely the best player ever to come out of Japan. An absolute legend, and Ichiro is just one of my favorite players ever. Somehow his glove managed to match how good his bat was, and was probably arguably the most complete player to ever play in the last 20 years.
He was fucking sick.
He was good.
Ichiro just missed my list, man. Just missed it.
Same here.
Yeah, I mean, obviously narrowing it down to 5 guys is not the easiest
tough.
thing.
It's
tough.
No.
Breaking news: there have been a lot of good baseball players this century.
Yeah. Next, I'm going to go with Vladimir Guerrero, not Jr., the original Vladimir Guerrero. One of the best pure baseball players that ever played. He could do everything you'd ever want. Runs, steal, hit for contact. You could throw it in the dirt, and he'd manage to cricket hit it over the fence. I mean, the dude was insane. He batted over 330 God knows how many times. He has a couple 30 steal seasons under his belt. Wherever he went, that dude was just absolutely dominant. And probably the coolest baseball player to ever play.
I think it was in 2007. It was the first time I remember watching the Home Run Derby when he won it in LA, and that made me fall in love with Vlad Guerrero. I didn't really know who he was, pay attention, I guess, to baseball a whole lot before that time. But watching him just drop dick all over Anaheim, I absolutely loved it. I fell in love with him.
Oh yeah, for sure. Next one I'm going to be going with is it's a bit of a hot take. I'm going to be going with another pitcher. And it's actually going to be, I feel like he's a too forgotten about of a pitcher, Johan Santana.
Yep, forgotten about. No idea.
Shut up. An absolute legend. And if injuries didn't cut short his career, I think we would be talking about him before we'd be talking about guys like Roy Halladay. I think he's as good as Verlander ever was. I think he is a hell of a pitcher. I mean, he's got so many sub-3 ERA seasons under his way. He only pitched 12 years, but in those years, I mean, he just absolutely maximized. The dude had how many Cy Youngs? He has 2 Cy Youngs, top 3 guy 4 times actually. I mean, he was just one of the coolest players to ever watch. A dynamic fastball, hell of a curveball, and yeah, Johan Santana, one of my favorite pitchers to watch growing up.
Love that.
Yeah. I think I have an easy. This is my absolute number 1. It should be everybody's number 1 of the last 20 years. It is going to be the machine, Albert Pujols. He was Mike Trout before Mike Trout. I mean, the guy is the best hitter I think I've ever seen. Absolutely ridiculous seasons. Coming up clutch in the playoffs. Name it, the guy has done it, and he's done it well. I mean, how do you get a better baseball player than Albert Pujols?
It has sucked going against
Big time
him,
agree.
being a Brewer fan.
Yep.
He fucking hurt me so much in my early Brewer days. Jesus, I hate him, but I can't deny it.
I think he's almost up there with Mike Trout in being excluded from this list because I think his career has been that absolutely dynamic. We've just kind of forgotten about it the last few years just because he's been toiling away in Anaheim or in LA now. Sorry, but yeah.
Yeah, no, undisputed. Fucking, he pisses me off so much. Hate him.
So, Al, what is your number 5 or your top 5?
My top 5 in no particular order. Very different list than Kyle. We had one person who was the same, but
honorable mention for me, Joey Gallo.
I was surprised he was not on there. So first, I have Carlos Beltran.
Oh,
Okay.
Switch hitter.
Representation.
Switch hitter who could drop dick from both sides of the plate. He stole 312 bases and hit 435 dongs. Just an absolute threat no matter where he was on the base paths in the lineup. You had to worry about him, know where he was. I think he actually won Rookie of the Year in 2000, if I remember correctly.
I think so. I think you're right.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks,
Becker
Becker.
knows,
Yeah.
yeah.
He never won an MVP, but I mean that's going to happen when you play baseball in an era full of fantastic baseball players. But I think he's one of 8 players to have at least 400 home runs and 300 stolen bases. So that's a pretty elite crew to be a part of.
And the dude was still getting it done even well into his 40s. I mean, he joined the Astros, was part of their World Series run. I mean, just everything that guy was doing, he just always did it at a high level. Also, has the best. He might be the best manager in Mets history as well. Never lost a game.
Very true. Very true. But not only could he get it done offensively, he won a Gold Glove 3 times. So just all-around fantastic player. I loved watching him growing up, too. I actually was a big Mets fan growing up. I hate to admit that, but
What the fuck?
That's tough. Yeah.
David Wright, Carlos Beltran, I don't know.
Johan
man.
Santana.
I like that team. Johan Santana, absolutely.
Okay.
My next one is a guy who is still playing in the league today, albeit not very well, but Miguel Cabrera.
Yeah, he just missed mine.
He won a Triple Crown, which is pretty insane. He's won 4 batting titles, World Series championship, 10-time All-Star, couple MVPs. Just an all-around great player. The only thing I think that people would look at and be like, "Oh, I don't know how you have him in his top 5 because he played first base," but I don't fucking care. That bat is fucking money.
Anybody who actually cares about that is an absolute loser.
Yep, I hate those types of people.
And he also played his fair share of third, especially when he was in Miami.
Yeah, that's true. I kind of forgot about that, but
And he won a fucking Triple Crown.
yeah, he won a
that
Triple
cannot
Crown.
be glossed over.
All right, I'm gonna pause this here. Explain the Triple Crown, please.
Kyle, this is all you.
Yep, get mad. Yep, get mad.
I
at
know
me.
what a triple crown is, but I'll let Kyle.
Triple Crown is batting average, home runs, and is it RBIs or is it OPS? It's
No,
OPS,
it's RBIs.
right? Oh, is it? Okay.
No, it's RBIs. Yeah.
So I think this opens up a new segment on the Farmcast of Learning with Becker. For
Yep,
our
learning with
viewers
me.
who need to learn something new, every now and then we'll throw a little fact out for you. And that's what a Triple Crown is. Continue.
I got one more for him, actually. Not to interrupt Fenner's list, but so Cy Young, the man who the award is named after, he was a pitcher that pitched in the early 1900s and I believe late 1800s as well. And he has the most career wins and most career losses by any player in MLB history, and they named the award after him.
Yep, because he got
threw
Lou Gehrig's
42
disease.
miles an
Oh
hour.
boy, we're gonna cut that.
I don't like the Lou Gehrig slander.
Anyways, continue, Feder.
My next one is a little bit of bias here because I played third base growing up. I absolutely loved watching this man play. Adrian Beltre. Adrian Beltre, I think, is overlooked when you look at the last 20 years, just like how good and how consistent this man was. 4-time Silver Slugger, 5-time Gold Glover, 2-time Platinum Glove. He hits
I didn't know he had 2 platinum gloves. Oh, shit.
Yeah. He hit 470 bombs, career slugging percentage of 480. The man was just an absolute fucking monster. And whenever you watched him play, he always like had a smile on his face. You could tell he like loved the game and just had a good time out there. So there may be a little bias in that.
Hated getting his head rubbed. Was not a big fan.
Oh, yeah, dude, I forgot
His
about that.
bromance with Elvis Andrus is always one of my favorite things in baseball. I was so sad when he retired.
Oh, yeah. But, I mean, he played for
Ever.
20 years? At least
Oh, yeah.
20 years?
Long
He's winning
time, we'll say
MVPs
that.
with the Dodgers early in the 2000s, and then just in the last couple of years was still batting over 300 with the Rangers. You can't ask to have a better career than Adrian Beltre.
Yep. On to the next. Pate already mentioned him. The GOATs of the 2000s outside of Barry Bonds and Mike Trout. Albert Pujols, which, I mean, he might be better than Mike Trout as of right now, but...
I think when everybody talks about Mike Trout, I mean, and they're very right to, as maybe being the best baseball player ever, Albert Pujols was doing all of these same things when he came into the league, too. And
Yeah,
he's
I
also winning the World Series as well.
I think the only difference is that Mike Trout plays a more premium position, which, understandable, but I don't know. I don't fucking care. Albert Pujols is somebody I idolized growing up. Kyle pretty much covered it all. Just an all-around fantastic baseball player. Hated watching that motherfucker.
Yep.
What was it, like 12 times a year against the Brewers? But
Thought you were a Mets fan. What gives?
Yeah.
yeah.
Which one is it, Fenner?
Well, I enjoyed watching him a hell of a lot more than I enjoyed watching David fucking Freese.
Yeah. No, yeah. Yeah.
Or Matt Holliday for that fact. I fucking hated Matt
Oh, I
Holliday.
loved Matt Holliday when he was in Colorado.
What about when he was on the Cardinals?
We don't talk about that.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so my final one, I'm honestly surprised he wasn't on your list, Kyle. Alex Rodriguez.
That was the toughest one to omit from my list. The only reason I did is because I wanted to have kind of a little bit of fun with the Johan Santana pick. If I were to have another, it was going to be Alex Rodriguez 100 times out of 100.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot that you can say that people don't know about A-Rod. I mean, people, with him and Barry Bonds, people always talk about the steroid shit. I don't fucking care. Both those guys are so fucking good. No, fuck that, dude. I wish people were still taking steroids. Honestly.
Gee, no, that's a fucking take.
I would
I want to
agree.
see 550-foot bombs. Am I the only one?
Nope, you're not the only one.
Okay.
I want to see
fair enough.
dongs every at-bat.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, Alex Rodriguez, he was a great shortstop. He was nice enough to move over to third baseman because Derek Jeter couldn't handle it with his fucking noodle arm.
Yep.
Even though he was the better defensive shortstop. Yeah.
Alex
Fantastic
Rodriguez, and
baseball
I want to make this 100% clear. Alex Rodriguez, in every single conceivable fashion, was a far superior baseball player to Derek Jeter. I want nobody to misunderstand this. Derek Jeter could not hold Alex Rodriguez's jock.
Okay, fair
I
enough.
second that motion.
That's your list then, Fenner?
That is my list, yeah.
So, Becker, I know you have a really good list, so is it okay if I skip you and save you for last?
Absolutely. Go for
Okay.
it.
So, my top 5, number 1, Derek Jeter. Just kidding. I'm not.
Oh, dude.
No.
I was about to disconnect from the Discord.
Yo. So top 5, no order. Mine are more my favorites. Because I couldn't put Albert Pujols in my top 5 because he's not a favorite of mine. I hate him. But number 1, kicking off the list, I've got Trevor Hoffman. That man was a hoot to watch. Back in the day, he was awesome. I loved
nice hoot.
Trevor Hoffman so much. You knew when he came in to Hell's Bells, Stadium Goes Dark. It was fucking awesome. It was like WWE, and then he would come out just to close out a game. He was a Brewer. Fucking loved him on the Brewers. Brewer legend. Fucking.
I would argue he's also a Padre legend.
No, Brewer legend first and foremost. And then sticking with pitchers, I've always loved pitchers growing up. I'm going with Tim Lincecum. He was dominant back in the day, leading those
Too bad he
giant
played
teams.
for the Giants.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. but I loved watching him. It was
Another man with great hair.
Yep, exactly. Oh, and I've got one more. Actually, I'll go right into that one. Speaking of great hair, I've got Zach Greinke on here. Love, probably my favorite pitcher of all time. The short time he was in Milwaukee was fucking amazing. Oh my God, he was amazing. I like always wanted to, when I would like be pitching in high school and middle school, I always wanted to be Zach Greinke. It was the coolest shit. And we have the same name, and he spells it right. So that's pretty cool.
Zach Greinke is one of the coolest fucking pitchers ever because he carried a big stick everywhere he went. It's a shame to see him in the AL now because that man can absolutely rake. The only man to have a 90-mile-an-hour changeup and an 89-mile-an-hour fastball.
His interviews, his post-game interviews are also very entertaining. He is very charismatic.
Did you guys know he had social anxiety?
Yeah. Whoa.
He's Zach Greinke?
Whoa. Damn.
That
is
news to
throws
me.
an eephus of a curveball.
That got so blown out. That was so annoying last year. Just have all baseball media talking about his social anxiety.
That was the only reason I almost wanted the Astros to win the World Series was because everybody's talking about, is the World Series going to be too big of a moment for Zach Greinke? Then he goes out there in Game 7 and fucking shuts down Washington. And it's a shame that they lost for him, but yeah, Zach Greinke, even he's going to be, I think he's 35, going to be 36. Which is wild that he's already that old, but I fucking love Zach Greinke.
When he shaves, he still looks like he's 18 years old.
Yeah. He still looks young as fuck. Moving on to my list, I've got loved him. I've got Big Papi. I've got David Ortiz.
Oh, yeah. That was honestly a tough one.
You mean boneless Prince Fielder?
Yeah, I thought about putting Prince on here too, but I had to go with David Ortiz. Loved watching Big Papi. That man fucking hit dongs, and I
he did.
Loved him. Awesome. Also great commentator, so I fuck with Big Papi. And then finally...
Yankees lose.
Finally, I have my favorite baseball player of all time, and Fenner, you talked a little bit about not giving a fuck about roid history. Ryan Braun, my favorite baseball player of all time.
Respectable.
So not much more I need to say. I've showed that I am a Brewer fan. So
and now let's please move on to the list we've all been waiting for. Jake Becker, would you like to give us your top 5 baseball players of the last 20 years, an educated opinion on the state of baseball? Go.
All right, so here's what I have. So completely unbiased. No, in no particular order. Number 1's going to be Bill Hall. Mother's Day man, just loves moms, just saves the day, wins every Mother's Day. Gotta respect him.
Yep.
Number 2, I'm going to go T-Plush, Niger Morgan.
Oh, I love that
just
pick.
Missed my list.
Love that pick.
Just missed my top 5.
An unbiased opinion.
Yeah, unbiased. Just
that dude loved Milwaukee.
Loved Milwaukee, loves baseball, just...
Milwaukee loved him.
Oh, yeah.
All right, and then I'm going to go... I have so many options. So, number 3, the Axeman himself, John Axford. I loved watching him just come out. I loved it. I loved the Axeman.
That's a fucking trash take, Becker.
I just love his nickname. That's really all it comes down to.
I have a shit list, too, and that's a fucking terrible one.
Now, I will give some credence to John Axford because playing Al Fenner in MLB The Show, I have absolutely terrorized him with John Axford over the last couple years. And I have John Axford living in this man's nightmares, so I will give a little bit of credit.
As soon as Becker said John Axford, I immediately went to his ugly-ass picture on his 83 overall Pirates card. Like, fuck me, man.
If you could not hit him with 99 overalls, the man was
No, I could not touch him.
Fun fact about John Axford, he's from Canada.
Neat.
Oh, so fun.
Yep,
What's
very fun. All right, next one. My next one is going to be everyone's favorite, Scott Pasednik. Love that man.
Oh, Scotty P. I got his autograph.
I have 2 jerseys of his. Both the same, but
Why?
2 of them. Well, my dad got them for us. It was me and my brothers, and we just got 2 of them.
And your brother said, nah, fuck this.
Yeah, and I said, fine, I'll take 2 of them. So that was like the first Brewers jersey I got. So I'm like, hell yeah, I love Scott Pasednik.
Okay.
Yep. And then
I did a baseball camp at Miller Park, and Scott Pasednik, Brady Clark.
Oh, yeah.
Sheets were there. It was pretty cool. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
And then my last one, it's a toss-up between two guys, but I'm going to go Junior Spivey. Favorite Brewer, got his bobblehead at one game, loved him to death. Loved that bobblehead. Eventually broke it on accident, but...
That's your last pick?
Yep, Junior Spivey.
And it wasn't Jeff Jenkins?
Well, he's on my honorable mention. I got some honorable mentions.
Richie Sexton?
Richie Sexton's my honorable mention.
If we were doing top 5 favorite Brewers, Richie Sexton would be up there simply because of his name.
I know.
The Sex Man? Are you kidding me?
I would put Todd Coffey up there.
Ooh, that's a good one. I like his name.
He used to have the coffee timer to see how fast he could sprint out there.
He was fat.
Yeah, he was fat. Funny guy.
So Todd Coffey, if you're listening, sorry.
Todd Coffey, if you're listening, we got room for the pod.
Yeah.
So, yep,
love to
that's
have
my
you on,
very
Mr. Todd,
educated,
Mr. Coffey.
unbiased top 5 baseball players.
Okay. I mean, yeah. Probably the most accurate list.
Yeah.
Fenner, what were you going to say?
Well, Becker did already name a 6th baseball player, but I was going to ask Becker if he could name a 6th baseball player. But
G-Man
Can you
Choi,
name
Jeff Jenkins, J.J. Hardy, Lyle
Name him
Overbay.
not Brewer.
from 2006.
Nope, can't do that.
Okay. Well, with baseball season coming up, we're all excited. I can't wait for that first tailgate out.
Pitchers and catchers, February 12th, boys.
Oh,
Can't
yeah.
wait.
yeah.
Almost there.
Can't wait.
Yep. But yeah, you guys have any last minute thoughts of baseball coming up?
Yeah,
predictions.
I'm very much looking forward to just being able to go to the park, sit in the seat, be drunk as hell, and be scolded at by baby boomers for arguing about the greatest Kanye West moments of his discography instead of actually watching.
Oh, that
the
was
majority
so
of the game. That's what
goddamn
I'm looking
funny.
forward to.
Yeah.
You made a whole section of
can't
people
wait to go to-
move.
I can't wait to drink Natter Days before the Brewer game. That will be fun.
Always throwing.
Ooh, my favorite.
Who's excited to go to AmFam Field?
Not me.
Hey, it's not named yet, so
It's still Miller Park, so that's fine.
Yep, for another year, so we have a couple more days to call it that.
Not my ballpark.
Yeah. Were you gonna bring up the Cranch?
Oh, yeah.
The best.
Were you gonna bring
Was I going to
up
bring
the
up Cranch? Absolutely. So,
My favorite
what has
condiment,
become a
Cranch.
staple- Yeah. What has become
Yeah.
a staple of my tailgates and every tailgate that I will ever go to, whether it's asked for or not. I will be bringing the Cranch. Cranch is a hell of a condiment. It is, now get this. It is combining ketchup, that's what the K is, and then ranch. So basically, Kraft, what they do is they stir them together for us, which is very kind on their behalf. And they stir it together, and they create such a wonderful sauce that we put on brats, burgers, and everything in between. And it really enhances the meat experience and really brings out the flavor of any delicious meal that you will be cooking up at your tailgate. And I would recommend it to anybody.
Yep. The one thing that Kyle is missing is that we weren't actually eating Cranch. We were eating Mayo Chup.
Mayo Chup,
We were
that's
eating
what it
Cranch.
is.
But we call it Cranch. So
I was gonna say.
it does add the flavor. So if you need a coming baseball season, if you need something to put on your hot dog, your burger, whatever it is, put some Cranch
Grab
on
some
it.
ketchup. Cranch stinks.
Oh, fuck off.
Shut the fuck up. Get the fuck off this
Yeah,
podcast.
that's a very North Dakota take, but it's fine.
Ooh.
All right. You guys got any last thoughts for us here?
I think I'm all
Go
baseballed out for
Brewers.
the day, so got all
Okay,
my
well, if
takes
Becker
out
says
there.
if Becker says he's all baseball out, I guess we're all baseballed out.
Stay tuned for teaching more of Becker easy baseball terminology and many other
What
things.
is an
that are-
RBI?
Runs batted in. God, I hate this. I hate you guys. This sucks.
What is OPS?
We
Guess as good as mine.
Find
I
out.
don't know.
Find out next episode.
we will have plenty more teachable moments with Jake Becker coming up on the Farmcast, and that's just another reason why you should subscribe, follow us on. We're on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, SoundCloud.
5-star reviews, please.
Smash that like button.
And follow us on Twitter and Instagram at the Farmcast Pod. And as they said before on Apple Music, if you could please give us a 5-star review, hit that review button. We're going to start going on as we get a couple more reviews. With some of the cool ones, I think we're going to start shouting out at the end of the episode. So please do that. It really helps support the show. And, some young content creators who are teaching one innocent man what baseball is. So make sure to follow us, the Farmcast. And thank you so much for listening. See ya.